the entertainment bullseye every week with her hard riding. Straight shooting. And suspense.
Well, sir, the Apache kid drew on me. But your old grandpa was too fast for him. Before you could say Doc Holliday, I slapped leather and he dropped.
Still spinning those tall tales, eh, Si?
You tend to your own business, Ed. Go on writing, Tagg. Annie Oakley, Lofty, and me rounded up the rest of the gang and took 'em to the Hoosgow. We'll tell you more in my next letter. And just sign that, your loving grandpa.
How do you spell Hoosgow, Mr. Cunningham?
Jail. It's the same thing. You really figure that your grandson back east believes all that hogwash, Si?
Why, of course he believes it. He thinks his grandpa's a hero. You see, the boy's an orphan. And I'm just telling him these things so he'll have something to be proud of. You understand, don't you, Tagg?
I think so, Mr. Crawford. But what if Tim finds out?
Why, he can't find out. Anyway, it ain't my fault that I'm no gunfighter. It's circumstances that makes a hero out of a man. What I told the boy could have happened.
Well, wouldn't he be just as proud to know you were a prospector, digging for gold and things?
I got more gold in my teeth than I ever took out of the ground. That's why I can't have the boy with me, where he belongs.
If he was with you, he'd know you can't even handle a gun.
What are you talking about? Let me have that gun of yours.
Careful now, Si. Don't shoot your foot off.
Youngster, all I need is a good gun in my hand. And any outlaw'd be scared so bad, he'd give up without a fight. It's just because I ain't never had a chance to prove it, that's all. Why, if I was facing down some sidewinder, I'd grab my gun and
All right, don't move any of you.
Si, do something.
You drop that gun or you'll be a dead man, Pop.
Well, what happened to all that big talk of yours? Why did you shoot?
I'm sorry, Ed. I don't know what come over me. I just couldn't seem to move.
You're yellow, that's all. A hero? That's a big lie.
What happened, Tagg?
3 outlaws robbed the telegraph office and rode out of town that way.
I had a gun in my hand. Could have stopped them.
The telegrapher's okay, Annie. Just banged up a little.
Thanks, Ed. Come on, Lofty. We'll try and pick up their trail.
Had them right in my sights, I did. I gotta make up for it. I gotta do something. Hold on a minute. I'm going with you.
Oh, you're gonna do no such thing, Si. This is our job.
But I got to show you. I got to prove it. I ain't afraid.
We don't think you're afraid, Si. And taking foolish chances with other people's lives doesn't prove anything.
We're on the right trail, Annie. We'll split up here and meet at the camp. They split up here.
Look, Lofty.
youngster. Off your horse.
Tagg, what's the matter with Mr. Crawford?
Well, I don't know. Probably still worrying about not being a hero, I guess.
You'll get over it, Annie.
Why don't you try and cheer him up, Lofty? I'll take him inside and lock him up.
All right. I'll do what I can. Don't let this thing get the best of your side. Nobody's gonna blame you for not taking foolish chances.
I'm just a worthless old man.
Ah, it's nonsense. But take that grandson of yours. He's got plenty to be proud of having you for a grandfather.
He won't be proud no longer.
Well, this ought to make you happy, Si. Boys due in on this afternoon stage. You just get this?
It must have been delayed. I never thought the boy's guardian would let him come. It's a big mistake.
What do you mean?
Now he's gonna know. He's gonna find out that his old grandpa is nothing but a liar. He won't never be the same after that.
You'll get over it, Si. Why, in a couple of days, you'll forget all about what you told him. Kids are like that.
Not this one, Deputy. You see, my grandson ain't never had much to be happy about. His folks died when he was a baby. Well, his life's been pretty dull. I can tell by his letters. And believing that his old grandpa was a big lawman, about all that ever mattered to him. It's gonna be a terrible blow when he finds out the truth.
Won't be as bad as you think, Si. Now, look, you better get yourself spruced up. My boy will be in here in an hour or so.
Putting on a clean face won't make me what I ain't, Lofty. You can't wash off what's inside.
Si,
It's no use, Deputy. You go on about your business. In a little while, it'll all be over.
I'll see you later, Si.
No use, Lofty. He's not going to tell us anything.
Now you're getting smart, lady. Why don't you wise up too, Deputy?
We'll get your pals anyway, wise guy.
The stage is coming in, Annie. Mr. Crawford, the stage is coming in.
Come inside.
Yes, I have to, don't I? Right now, I wish a bolt of lightning would strike me. Well, it's good to see you, Tim. My, you've grown up into a fine young man.
Well, he takes after his grandfather, Si.
Tim, this is Lofty Craig.
Hello, Tim.
Hi.
I'm Annie Oakley, and this is my little brother, Tagg.
Hello. I've heard lots about you. Grandpa told me about you in all his letters.
Yeah, that's what I mean to tell you, Tim. I guess you're going to be...
Tim, Tagg has an extra bed in his room, and if it's all right with your grandfather, we'd love to have you stay with us.
Oh, thanks, Annie. Not much room out at the digging.
That'll be swell. I'll bet you're awful proud to work with my grandpa, him being such a famous gunfighter and all.
You're right, Tim. We're awful proud to work with Si. Why, you know that your grandfather and Lofty and I have been through an awful lot together.
I don't know what we'd have done without your grandfather, Tim.
Now I've heard everything.
What's that man laughing about? Don't worry about him.
Lay off, Cunningham.
Why, this is the funniest.
Keep your mouth closed.
Hey, what are you doing?
Look, give Si a break, will you, for the kid's sake?
Why, that old longhorn, he ain't even...
Maybe I should have said please.
Sure, Deputy. Being as you put it that way.
Good. Spread a word around town. Make sure nobody else says anything. You understand?
Sure.
Golly, Deputy Craig, what was that all about? Is that man some kind of crook or something?
No, really, Tim. We just don't seem to see eye to eye about a couple things. I'll get your suitcase and take it over to the sheriff's office.
Tim, we'll get a bite to eat, and then I'll show you around the town a bit.
Say, I just noticed. You aren't wearing any guns.
No, well, that's because...
Tim, they're over at the office. You'll see them later on.
Golly, Grandpa, I'm the lucky one. And maybe before I leave, I'll get to see you in action.
Well, you never can tell, boy. Never can tell. building there, that's the Diablo Bank.
Isn't that where you had a gunfight with the Doyle gang?
Yeah, that's right, Tim. And when the smoke cleared away, the last of the Doyles are laying right there on the street.
Weren't you even scared a little bit, Grandpa?
Well, man don't have much time to be afraid. It's either them or me. Well, that's about it, I guess. This town ain't much for size. But I reckon Diablo's about the best town in the world for a man to live in.
I guess the people in Diablo think you're the bravest man alive.
Well, I don't know about that. Oh, say, how'd you like to go out and see my diggings at the mining camp?
That'd be great.
All right, you just get on behind me here on the Nervy, and we'll be out there in no time at all, hardly. Yes, sir.
How come you don't have a real horse, Grandpa, like the cowboys?
Old Minerva here is better than any old horse. She won't break no speed records. But when the going gets tough, I can count on her.
Gosh, Grandpa, I didn't even know you were digging for gold, too.
Oh, that's just a hobby, Tim. Just for relaxation when I'm all worn out from catching outlaws.
Are you real rich, Grandpa? Do you have lots of gold?
Well, no, Tim. I ain't rich in the way you mean. But having you here with me and knowing I got a lot of good friends in town, why, them's the things that really count. And in that way, well, I guess I'm just about the richest man alive. Now, you get on the steps there and climb up behind me, and we'll get back into town.
Do I look like a real cowboy, Tagg? You sure do, Tim.
That boy's born to the saddle, he is. Just like his old grandpa.
How am I doing, Grandpa? It's my first time, and I'm not even scared.
You're mighty brave, boy. Keep it up.
Hey!
Maybe someday he'll be something I've always wanted to be. A real hero. Not just a make-believe one.
Good luck, Annie. Sure hope that tip you got on those prisoners is right.
So do we, Tagg. All set, Lofty?
Keep a close eye on things here, Si.
Leave it to me, Deputy.
How come you're not going with them, Grandpa? They'll need you, won't they?
Oh, they can handle this job, boy. There's only 2 outlaws.
Your grandpa's gonna look after things here, Tim. That's mighty important.
Somebody's got to watch the prisoner. Yeah, I guess I didn't think of that.
Well, you youngsters come on inside, and I'll tell you about the time that I tangled with Butch Cassidy and his wild bunch.
Told you they'd be leaving town. Letting that rancher spot us worked just like I thought.
We'll never have a better chance to break Dave out of jail.
Sheriff called off the posse, but I wouldn't quit. I knew somehow that the Cassidy bunch was close by. And in that night, as I was laying by the campfire, I heard a voice.
Don't move, any of you. You all right, Dave?
Sure, except I'm sick of hearing this old man's story.
Hey, I guess you never heard about Clyde Cross.
Shut up!
Grandpa, are you going to let him talk to you like that?
Well,
Do something, Grandpa.
There ain't much you can do, Sonny, unless he wants a hole in his head.
I'm not afraid of you, mister.
Ow! Hey, you can't hit that boy that way.
Shut up.
Are you all right, boy?
Sure, I'm okay. They're heading south. I'll ride out and get Annie and Lofty. How come you didn't stop him, Grandpa? You were standing right next to your gun.
Well, I'm sorry, Tim.
You didn't even try.
Well, they was all armed. There wasn't much I could do.
You weren't afraid, were you?
Well, of course not. It's just that I had you youngsters to think about. Taking foolish chances with other people's lives don't prove nothing.
I guess not.
Why, you see, if it were just me that was in danger, that's one thing. But you and Tagg, that's another.
Then you better get after those outlaws. You can capture them, can't you?
Oh, well, sure I can.
I'll get your gun.
Now, wait a minute, Tim.
But those fellas will get away, Grandpa. You've got to get after them right away.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Boy, oh boy. I've been wanting to see how you look with your gun on. Go get them, Grandpa. Just like you got all those other outlaws you wrote me about.
Your darn tootin', I'll get them. Ain't no sideminder going to put anything over on Cy Crawford. Unhitch Minerva, boy.
Yes, sir. Minerva's all ready.
Good, boy, good.
Good luck, Grandpa.
No luck, Annie. Want to try the rimrock area?
Oh, we might as well.
What's wrong, Tagg?
Those two gunmen broke their pal out of jail.
Was anyone hurt?
No, they pushed Mr. Crawford around a little, but he wasn't hurt. Only his feelings.
What do you mean?
Well, gosh, Tim was there, and he expected his grandpa to stop the jailbreak. You know, like they talked about doing in some of his letters.
Looked like Cy's talk finally caught up with him, eh?
Sure does, Lofty. I'm just afraid he might be darn fool enough to try and make it come true. Tim, where's your grandfather?
He got on Minerva and rode after those outlaws. He's gonna capture them all, single-handed.
Oh, no.
Minerva's track shouldn't be too hard to follow, Annie. Maybe we can catch Cy before he runs into trouble.
There are only 3 bandits. Do you think Grandpa will need help?
He might, Tim. He just might.
Hey, Tagg, let's go out after them.
I don't think we'd better, Tim. Annie wouldn't like it.
Oh, she won't mind. I want to see my grandpop in action.
You better stay here.
You can, but I'm going out there. I may never have this chance again. Okay if I take Pixie?
Never mind. I'll go along. But don't say I didn't warn you.
Ooh, any supplies? Let's see what's in that shack. Come on, hurry up.
Why, those no good sidewinders. On top of everything else, they're stealing my grub.
Hurry up and mount up. Let's get out of here.
Nobody ain't going nowhere. Just stay right there. Now just drop them shooting irons and nobody will get hurt.
Well, how do you like that? Captured by the great Cy Crawford himself.
You better watch out, old man. That gun might go off.
You bet your sweet life it might. You just climb down off of that cayuse.
Sure, Pop, sure.
Get him, Lofty. I'll keep him pinned down. doing here?
I came to see Grandpa in action.
I tried to stop him, sis, but he just wouldn't listen.
Say, where is Grandpa?
He's over in those rocks pinned down.
Holy cow, why doesn't he do something? Come on, Grandpa, go get him!
Why, Crawford, you're a good-for-nothing old man. You talked yourself right into having to commit suicide.
Let's get out of here.
Grandpa, he's escaping, get him! Boy, oh boy, did you see that? Did you see what my grandpa did?
I think I did.
One shot, Crawford. Come on, let's get over there.
Maybe you Mavericks will learn your lesson someday.
It looks like Si's got things all wrapped up here.
He sure has, Lofty.
You should have seen him, Lofty. Drop that fellow with one shot.
That's right, he did.
You really showed him, Grandpa.
Oh, there wasn't nothing to it.
Hey, you two mount up. We got a nice, cozy cell waiting for you and the Who's Gal. I'm getting a mite too old for these shenanigans. I'm hanging up my gun for good. I'm gonna leave the peacemaking to younger folks, like you, Annie, and Lofty.
Well, after what you've been through, Si, you deserve a good rest, but we're sure gonna miss your help.
Boy, oh boy. Just wait till I tell the fellows back east. Just wait.
Now, wait a minute. Don't you start telling any tall tales. That can get a man into a heap of trouble.
Oh, yes, sir.
You just stick to the plain and simple truth, like I'm gonna do from this minute on, so help me.